Hey Mark, how's it going?
Good. How are you today?
Good.
Good. Change in weather?
Crappy day.
No, I know. Or summer might come in July.
Yeah,
Anyway,
probably.
it's warmer. I don't think the next couple of days are great, but anyway. So this video is about, let me fill in the audience. So we get a lot of comments, and I'm sure on your channel as I do on mine, the market's going to crash. We're going to see people are losing their homes. The bubble's going to burst. You name it,
Oh,
everything's coming out,
if you
right?
think prices have dropped, you haven't seen anything yet, Mark.
Right, right. So I went back in the sales for BARRIE in 2023 and pulled all the history up because I wanted to see sorry, yes, I did that, but I did it at a million and above. The highest range with, you know what I mean, the most at risk in a sense and sensitive to the market and a lot of inventory. So I think that was the best one to do. And what going through a couple hundred listings, I only found three properties that these people have bought in 2022 and sold in 2023 mainly. And some sold in 24, but when we pull up the history, we see every history of when that property is sold. So it should put a lot of people's mind at ease that people really aren't in as bad shape as the market and everyone thinks they are, because it kind of, I was expecting more and I'm going, oh my God, when's this going to end? Because it took such a long time to do. And I only found three. So I was shocking. Another thing that I was kind of
Well,
surprised.
hold on. What you found was, and this, because you didn't kind of explain, you found people that had to sell for lower than they bought.
Correct. Thanks for filling that in. Yes.
And I tried to go back from the beginning of this year. I have my assistant here with me today. Um, I tried to go back from January till now, and there was zero. And I said to you, Mark, like, this is so weird because I assumed there would be people that had to sell lower than what they paid for at the highest in the highest market, and they would get in trouble with their mortgages or something, but there's
Yeah,
zero.
we're not. And we're going to have a spreadsheet in a second. Let's go through a few more things that I also noticed is that going through a couple hundred listings like that, these people were in a really strong equity position. Like they just didn't buy at 9 and sold it for a million the following year. They were holding these properties for several years, right? So if that seller, say, sold in 2023 or whatever, sold in 22 and bought in 23, they put a lot of money down,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Because looking at when they bought this property, it was like 400 and change. Some were original owners, some was 275, some was 300 grand, and they sold over a million. So did they downsize? Some may have. Have
Or
they
did
let
they
the
cash
property
out because the market was crazy?
passed out? Maybe became a renter, maybe a certain age. There's lots of variables. But if we assume they bought something, it's not showing up as that people are in as bad shape as everyone thinks they are. So
No, because anybody that sold at that time, most of them, like you said, when you go back in the history, they paid 200 or 300 for it. So like they have so much equity that even if they sold now a bit lower, like they're not in trouble.
not in trouble. No, I expected to see more.
I know when I told you when I first started the exercise, and I said, "Well, Mark, there isn't any," because we talked about this because a lot of people have brought it up to us. Everybody's losing their houses. Nobody can get their mortgage renewed. Everybody's in trouble. So when I first looked at it, I was like in shock because I thought I would find some problems, and I didn't.
No, I was quite surprised. And I even noticed too that some of those properties, there was a lot of them going into multiple bids too in
Yeah.
2020, in the higher ranges, right? Which we didn't really see. We're not seeing that too much, 2024 so far, right? So, I know you asked a question quite a bit going, do you think prices have dropped? Looking at that higher range category and going through and spending a few hours on it, I don't think they would get the prices that they got last year in some of them.
No,
right?
well, that's what I mean. Like, I'm kind of seeing that as well.
Yeah,
Like when you look at the average price and you listen to the real estate boards and stuff, they're saying that it's basically level, like it hasn't really changed. But
yeah,
when you look like house by house and listing by listing, like we do, I'm
yeah.
like, man, like there's no way they could have got this now.
No, no, I know, I noticed that looking at a lot of them going. So, and yeah, I was, I think there's a little bit more inventory this year compared to last year that we seen when we did our April stats. So a little bit more product. So, you know what I mean? Are people downsizing? Yeah, some are going to downsize. Some are going to go be older demographics, going to go rent or downsize to a condo or, leave the province, whatever. I don't think that's ever going to change, but, you know, let's see what happens if we get a good sell through on an inventory that's we got currently.
And you know what else, Mark? I think if you didn't buy in 21 and 22, you're fine. Like I bought in 2019 and it went way, way high in 2022 and it came back down, but I'm still have a lot of equity.
100%, 100%.
Like if you bought at that time, you're not hurting.
You're not hurting, right? And and anybody that did buy in that time, they're not moving right now.
No,
I don't think they are,
no.
especially if they got those mortgages at a lower rate.
Yeah.
They're not going to disrupt that mortgage and take a higher blended rate. No, right? We need to see some rates come down, and that will happen this year. I believe it will, even though a lot of naysayers say it won't. But I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to be forced to due to economic conditions, due to a slowing labor market and many others, and a slowing consumer. I think it's coming real
Yeah.
soon. So pull up
So
the
I'll
chart.
share the screen
Let's walk through it.
and we'll look at some numbers.
Yeah, just to show what there was the three properties, and we kind of estimated it. So the Ems was bought at on 2022 for 1,125,000. It sold in July for 1,045,000, a loss of 80,000. I put a real estate fee of 5%, standard fee 52,000. Lawyers sell 18. I estimate. I don't think I'm far off. Land transfer tax was 18,975. And the legals, I get it, put another 1,800. So that's a substantial loss for some
Oh,
people.
yeah. So because the loss here is
Now,
only 80,000, but you have to add all these other extenuating costs into it. So this between the so 3,600 and basically 19 is,
135K.
yeah.
Oh, did I add the 18? I better add the 18. I don't think I did. The land transfer tax. Let me add that. But the number may be off, whatever. 154,000. And we've seen a few of these. I've been involved in one. And there's reasons behind it. It could have been divorce, took the variable product, had to get out.
Well, and a lot of people at this age, I remember at this stage, Mark, I remember everybody saying, just take the year mortgage, the 1 year, it's going to be high, but don't worry. By the time you have to renew next year, it's going to go down and you're going to be fine. But they weren't fine.
They weren't fine. No, they weren't fine at all. They held in as long as they can. But if we look at the couple hundred, like it's less than 1%.
I know this is the thing that
Right?
it didn't, everything that people kept saying was going to happen
Yeah.
or is happening. They're
Yeah.
actually kind of acting like it's happening right now, right?
Right, it is. The media is doing that, and the comments are telling us that, and that's why we want to do this video to kind of, hey, we did, some due diligence in BARRIE, and this is what we found. So the other property purchased for 1,150,000, sold for 987, $163,000 loss. With the math on that, and the real estate fees were 49K. Legals are 3,600, and land transfer was $19,475. It's unbelievable.
So we're
200,
looking at,
235
well, yeah,
loss.
but for a $49,000 purchase price loss, you're up to almost a 73 or $74,000 loss when you add everything in.
Because they sold it right here is 163,000 loss on the real estate. We had the real
Oh
estate.
yeah. Oh geez, just a loss of 163.
Right, right. And we've seen that. And you know what? Again, I've been involved in one, and I won't get into that details, and it really stung. But those people carrying a lot of pressure, again, we don't know these sellers, and we don't, know nothing. We're only
No,
assuming that it's, either through financial hardship or, what, we rolled
family
it.
situation, yeah.
Right, it could change, but I expected to have a spreadsheet full of
Yes.
these to go through. So I don't need to go through the other one. The audience gets the hint, but I don't think our market's in that bad a shape in the higher ranges. Yeah, we
No,
see a lot of inventory there because people can't qualify right now for it due to the increase in rates, and we know why. But I don't think that seller's sweating. I don't. Everyone's saying, "Oh, they got to get out. They got to get out. They got to get out." No, they don't.
no, no, I know. And I'd like people to see all of these fees that also come into effect when, if you did buy at a high price and you need to
Yeah,
sell or you want to get out, you have to think about all these other costs that are going to go in there.
100%. You got to put that into your budget, right? To put it in there. That's kind of why we did it, right? But
Yeah, to show people exactly how much you're actually losing. And
right.
I think you're right. I think there's people that pass away. I think there's people that get divorced.
Yeah.
They're in real estate. There's always going to be people that have to sell and people that have to buy, even
100%.
if the market sucks
Yeah. Yep.
through no fault of their own, right? Their life circumstance change.
Yep. Right. And one of my videos on that was I'm gonna pull it up, just some information on it, that has performed extremely well. Kind of relates to where all these comments that were coming from. Give me 1 second, I'll pull it up. And 90% of the comments, again, it was a video in Innisfil because we've seen a lot of product over there. I mean, that video's got 35,000 views and hundreds of comments, and I would say over half of them talk about those people are going to lose more if they don't sell now, and this is the bubble's bursting. But I don't think we're seeing a lot of. I think we're underestimating people's equity. There's people
Well,
spending a lot of money right now.
and you know what else I think? And it sounds kind of funny, but I think people like the drama of like if everything's good and lovely and beautiful, people don't want to talk about it.
Yeah,
Negativity is shared way faster and harder than positivity is.
I'm sure it is.
And I think everybody, likes to think that they're not screwed up. Everybody else is more screwed than they are.
Yeah,
Like I'm not in a bad position. All these other people, they're all going to be screwed. I mean, I don't understand it. I've never kind of been that kind of person my whole life. I try to see, that the glass is half full. And you and I have both been in this industry for almost 15 years.
yep,
It's actually 15 years this year, isn't it?
it is. Yep.
And we have been told the crash is coming since we started.
Yeah, I know. Haven't seen it.
How many
Right.
times during our career? Oh, the crash is coming. And you know what? We've gone through times, Mark, where it took 3 or 4 or 5 months to sell a house, right?
Yeah, yeah. We've been through those.
That was
Yep.
normal though.
That was normal. That was the norm. That was norm.
Yeah.
Now, days on market for the average, 27 to 30 on average. Some more in different ranges, but
But
pretty
like
price profit.
compared to when we started in real estate,
Yep,
that's fast.
that's fast. That's very fast. That's very fast.
Yeah.
And you know what else I noticed by going through those listings? A lot of people bought those for investment properties. And how could I tell? Because they rented them. All the history's there, right? So they rented. I was really surprised at that too. I was shocked that people were spending $1 million plus. Anywhere again, I didn't check every price and I didn't write it down, but $1 million and up, and getting 3,200 a month on average for these properties. When you can get a townhouse for good sized townhouse for 25, 26, it might have paid 650 to 7. Crazy, eh?
Yeah. Well,
So
it's funny because I sold one on M's a couple years ago and an investor bought it as well. And I thought the same thing, like, why are you paying almost like it was a high price? And I was thinking, why are you paying that and buying that kind of property as an investment? Like the rent wouldn't even have covered then.
No, no, I know.
Like, you might
Crazy.
as well buy two smaller ones, Mark.
You know, that's it. I would rather buy two townhomes.
Yeah,
Really, there's the fix right there, right? When you're paying 35, $200, I mean, it's gonna be a family going in, right? Family dynamic changes, you know, that's a lot of money to rent today. But we're seeing still some supply issues on the rental side because there's so much demand. The national vacancy rate across the country is 1.5. There's not a lot of rentals available.
I know.
We wonder why that, rents are so high today. So I thought I was very surprised at that. So, kind of wouldn't be my first choice of an investment property in the $1 million range. Buy two townhomes.
Yeah, I've actually told my clients that in the past. Like, why don't, because you got, their theory, and it's it's wonky in a way. Their theory is if you have a higher investment, you're gonna have a higher return.
Yeah.
Except that at the 900 or the $1 million range, when prices went crazy, townhouses, some of them were selling in the 8s and 9s.
I know.
So now you would have had double the investment, and the
Yep.
ones at the 900 range didn't go up 4 or 500. They went up 2 or 3.
Yeah, I know.
Like the actual equity would have grown more with the smaller home. But
And
yeah,
and
see
it's,
it? Did you do the math?
Yeah, I did do the math.
Good.
and in those, when you think about a bigger home like that, $3,200 a month, that's if the home needs work, which most invested properties do, your bill's going to be a lot higher.
Mark, your taxes on a property like that around here are $6,000.
Easy,
Easy.
right? Where a townhome, 42, I think I was paying 42 at Brown Bear in that range.
I'm paying that for mine in my detached around there, 44, I think.
Yeah. So
Makes no sense to me.
no,
But
it doesn't. Any other things about that? But I thought it was a great exercise. I hope I put some sellers' minds at, not sellers' minds at ease, but the public's mind at ease. People are sitting on more money than we think.
and unfortunately for the people that are saying that the world is crashing down, it doesn't seem to be.
No, no. And that's why I picked a higher range because I thought I'd see it. No.
Well, you wouldn't see it in the lower range, really.
Oh, wouldn't see it. So I said, why bother? Right. So remember, folks, give this a follow, a like, a share, and questions, leave comments. We'd like to hear from you.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yes. And we do try to answer all the comments.
100%. Okay. See you.
Perfect. See ya. Mark said bye.
Bye.
See you. Bye. Enjoy the popsicle.